Hi everyone, it's Danny. Okay, so here we have a really pretty orchid that I absolutely love called Epidendrum Crystal Valley Red Star. I took a look at the label here. Now I searched for this orchid on the RHS register and it is registered, but only as the Crystal Valley. The Red Star might be just a variety of this beautiful orchid. Now by the looks of things, if you're acquainted with epidendrums, you can actually notice it is somehow related to the famous Epidendrum radicans, which is a species, and indeed one of its parents is the Epidendrum radicans. You have the full parentage in the description below if you're interested in that sort of stuff, so do check the description. Now this orchid produces a cluster of tiny little blooms, and actually this is not in full bloom. If you notice here in the middle, it still has some buds yet to open. Now the cool thing with these reed stem epidendrums is that it kind of puts out a flush of blooms and then waits for a few more days and puts out another flush of blooms. So in the end you can have a really nice and big cluster of blooms here. Usually the flowers should last for a month or even more, so you do have time to enjoy the full bloom of this orchid. I actually could not wait anymore. I had to film this because in reality this is such a pretty color and pretty orchid, and I'm not even sure if the camera can pick up the color of this orchid. It is not red, but it's not pink either. It's a sort of a combination between the two. It has a lot of really pretty glittery spots on it. I don't know how to call them. And of course the lip has a beautiful splash of yellow. And if you notice, the flower seems to be upside down. And I think it's true. Actually, the lip on this orchid is facing upwards. Most reed stem epidendrums actually look like this. They have the lip pointing upwards, which makes for an even better display. Now, if I turn this orchid around, you'll actually notice that the flowers are facing each direction, so it's not blooming only in one direction. So this makes the inflorescence have that 3D effect to it. You don't need to place it in a certain way to enjoy the blooms. Now if you are wondering if this orchid is fragrant, it is not fragrant. Most epidendrums or reed stem epidendrums are not fragrant, but they come in such beautiful colors. You can have oranges, yellows, reds, combinations, and pinks of course, and purples. I don't know if I mentioned purples, but they're just so beautiful. And imagine if you have multiple varieties of them, you can place them together one next to each other and you can have these clusters of blooms which actually look like a sort of a 3D bowl or something like that. Imagine the multiple colors. It's just beautiful. Now this orchid can produce the flower spike at a pretty young age. As you can see, my epidendrum is really not tall. This is not a very tall variety anyway, but I have a feeling it will get taller than this. So you can have the blooms even if the orchid is not super old, which is of course a bonus. You have the blooms earlier, really easy to care for as well so far. So I will make a video on the epidendrums once I have a few more epidendrums, because I do intend to buy more. They're really not expensive. I think I paid for this one €9 and something, which is really cheap for what it is actually. I actually purchased it from Schwerter. I do intend to purchase an orange one and a pink one, and who knows, maybe more in the future. So if you're interested, if you're in Europe and you're interested in buying this particular cross, you have the link towards it in the description. So alrighty, thank you guys for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. Absolutely love this orchid. I'm really curious to see how the colors show off on camera. It's just really pretty, and it's that type of color which is so saturated that it kind of messes up the settings of my camera. I'll try to give you a close-up of the flower now so you see all the details, the fringy lip and the splash of yellow, and maybe the glitters on the petals. Alrighty guys, thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to subscribe. You can leave me questions and suggestions in a comment below and I'll get back to you. And if you just want to stay in touch with me and see pictures of my orchids before I actually make videos with them, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you next time. Bye!